behind you. I said, take down everything that stands in your way. Don't stop believing it'll work out again, my friend. Stand out and be a part of everything good. Wake up, you're gonna be all that you should. Try out all the things you always wanted to be. You'll see, 'cause I know what I know, that you've got it in you, and I see that you are a winner.
Something I don't see happen a lot, but I have seen it happen. I've actually seen the posts and people, Christians, I don't know if I've ever seen it from a Muslim, but I've for sure seen it from a Christian, where they'll write an atheist and they'll say, oh, if you don't think you're going to live forever, why do we even bother living? You know, what's the point? And do we know the work that life is if it's all for nothing when you die? You know, I can kind of see the point. I mean, going to school, all that work to learn stuff, the constant, continual process of trial and error and learning things and whatever that you go through your whole life having to do, and you encounter hard lessons that hurt. Maybe you end up homeless at some point, or in a serious depression or some point, or whatever. Life is hard. Death is easier. I think that's a line from Twilight. Yes, I confess I've seen it. But yeah, it's a good question. Why go through all that work if you know in the end you're just gonna cease to exist? Like a light switch going out. Boom, you're gone. All that knowledge, all the talents you've worked so hard to acquire, all the hopes and dreams, all the whatever wisdom you've obtained through the years, it's all gone. Just like that, poof. So why bother going through all the misery and heartache and obstacles just to die in the end? That's a good question, actually. And yet I feel like it's a stupid question. Because if you love being alive, if you love looking around and seeing the world, seeing the universe, if you love getting to know people and waking up in the morning not knowing what it's going to be, because every morning it's a question mark. What is it going to be? It's an adventure. It's a mystery to be discovered. That's exciting. And I'm going to have rat noises because I'm making a video. It's like they have this understanding when I want them to not be making noises, and that's when they choose to make noises. You think about really passionate artists like Mozart or Rembrandt or Da Vinci, and I probably said his name wrong, or all the famous actors, or all the famous writers like Mark Twain. So I have to throw his name out there, Samuel Clemens. My mother's, I still haven't figured out what if he's a great uncle or a great uncle to my mother, but it's still a very cool thing that I repeat as much as possible. Yes. What if these amazing artists were told that one day their masterpiece would cease to exist? Would they still want to create their masterpiece, knowing that one day it's going to cease to exist? Because it will. All these amazing accomplishments of humankind that we look at, we look upon them as priceless. So priceless that we put them in glass cases and we put them in museums out of the way of harmful light that might cause them to fade, or bugs that might chew on them. We do everything in our power to preserve these priceless masterpieces that have been created by these geniuses. But even still, one day those beautiful things will pass away. They will, because one day the sun is going to go supernova and the earth will be charred to a crisp and probably just turn into a puff of dust. Not just charred, completely obliterated. And everything will be gone. everything. Or it might happen before that. It might be a fire that rages through the museum that this artifact is in. I mean, there's an amazing amount of possible things that could cause the destruction of something wonderful. But you think if you told these artists who were so passionate about expressing themselves in such a creative way, sharing their talent with the world, if you told them that one day their masterpiece would cease to exist, like it never happened at all, completely outside of anybody's recollection, you think they still would have wanted to create those things? Or all the people that aren't famous artists or musicians or writers that maybe never publish or sell or end up in a art show or in a gallery, just ordinary people who just have a passion for expressing themselves in creative ways, knowing that maybe nobody in the entire planet is going to see what they've done, but they still do it anyway because they love it. It's their passion. You think they're going to care if one day it's going to cease to exist? You think it's going to stop them from wanting to continue to paint or draw or write or play music? If the eventual fact that something is going to cease to exist that you have labored on with your heart and soul is not enough to stop you from wanting to continue to labor on it and create, just because it gives you pleasure to express yourself, why would somebody not want to labor on the masterpiece that is themselves, even knowing that one day they will cease to exist? Does it matter to them? Does it decrease their passion for life any more in any way, shape, or form, knowing that one day they're going to cease to exist? Or do they still have the desire to get up in the morning and experience that adventure that the day is that they don't know about yet? Tackle whatever mysteries come. Fill that empty page with whatever they want to fill in it. The other day when I got up, I had no idea that I was going to put on my empty page, which was that day, a street person. When I got to my destination I drive a public bus, and I went to Dick's Restaurant, which is very close to where I park my bus, and it's one of the comfort stations. We're allowed to use the restroom. I went to this restaurant planning to just use the comfort station, and there was a man sitting outside the restaurant with a sign that said, "Food or money, anything helps." So I went into the restaurant and went to the conversation, and on my way out, I just on a whim, I bought him a Dick's Deluxe, a fry, and a Coke. And I went out in the sidewalk where he was sitting and handed him this, and he was just like, "Oh, thank you so much, thank you so much." And I walked away, and I felt really good about this, that I just on a spontaneous whatever felt like doing this for this person. It cost me about $8, but there it was on my page that was for that day. This is what I did. And every day is one of those pages filled with possibility of what you can do and what you can put on that page. Or you can look at it like it's a painting, and every day you add a little bit more color and complexity and definition and balance between darkness and light, or whatever contrast. Every day you work on that picture, you labor on that picture. Whether it's drawing or painting or sculpting or whatever, every day. That's your life, and that's your masterpiece, and every day you add to it and add to it until you're done. And then it's gone. I mean, it's there, it's shining in front of you. You can look at it and feel like, wow, what I've done. Look at this amazing artwork that I've done, this masterpiece that I've done. And then it's gone. But you've still done it. You've still had the enjoyment of putting it together and seeing it grow and giving it your all, everything that's in you. you've done that. It's a huge accomplishment. And you look at that and you feel good. Look at this that I've done. And that's what drives you through your life. The creation of this thing that's amazing. This amazing masterpiece, which is you. That's what keeps you getting up in the morning and wanting to go out. Fill the day with whatever you can do, whatever possibilities there are, you know, and you have absolute control. In some cases, not in all cases, obviously, you don't have any control if a semi-truck barrels into your car, but that too can be on your page, on your painting or whatever that's your life. That's definitely going to add some color or maybe some black to the colors, darken it up a bit. Because maybe you end up in the hospital and go through some serious depression because maybe you lost a leg. Might change the whole composition of your picture, that one thing that happened that day. Or maybe you decide when you get up in the morning that you're going to be nice to people and you're going to make somebody smile. That's going to be something you do that particular day, and that might add a little splash of brightness to your painting. It might make you feel good. Or having a child, or getting a pet brightens up your world. Why do we bother living if we're not going to live forever? Because here's an opportunity that we have in front of us. Here's an empty page asking to be filled. Here's our chance to shine, to be something, to make a difference. It's our moment in this amazing, huge dance that is the universe. And our moment is so small. Even the planet that we're sitting on, its moment is so small that when it's gone, the universe isn't even going to notice. It's not even going to register that it was even there at all. That's how little we are. And yet still we have this amazing privilege for just this short time to be one with this incredible thing. I mean, what are the odds that we're here at all? Of all the planets out there, how many planets have we discovered to have life on them? It's so unlikely that there's life on this world, and yet there is. And how unlikely that we ourselves managed to get to exist when you think of all the things that need to happen just for us to exist. Humans have to survive millions of years, or I'm trying to think of how long humans have been around. Pretty sure we've been around for, gosh, now I have to use my brain. We've been along, okay, forget it. I don't want to throw out some time and look like an idiot, but we've been around for a long time. Sorry, it's been a long time since I've looked into paleontology and stuff like that. So, and I don't feel like looking it up right now, but humans have been around for a very long time. You have all these different kinds of species of humans, and some of them have survived and some of them died off, and the ones that survive continue to branch out and evolve, and to the point where we are today. So that happened, and that also is unlikely when you think of all the Ice Age creatures that died, and yet our ancestors did not die. So that's an amazing thing. And then just in more recent history, your grandparents had to meet each other and fall in love, and then your parents had to meet each other and fall in love, and then just right down to the moment where it could have been a different sperm that impregnated the egg. And if that had happened, it would have been a different person who was born, not you. So there's all these things that I have this cat hugging me down here on my lap, on my leg. Teddy. Oh, come up here. Oh, here's Teddy. Teddy got himself clipped yesterday. Very bad job. Hi there. Could have been born a cat, not a human. No. Okay, that was stupid. But yes, it's going to be really hot here where I live for the next couple of days. So both of my Persians got clipped, and unlike my dog, they wiggle, and so the clipping job looks really crappy. But I don't care. I was telling them yesterday, you're not going to go to show. Nobody sees you. You might as well be comfortable. You know, who cares if you look like a lawnmower went over you a couple times? So yeah, I'm blathering now, but the point is just the fact that you're here at all is just so unlikely. And here you are. This is your moment. This is your time. And your one opportunity, and it is such a privilege, because how many in all the planets there are, you know, it's like we have the opportunity to look up into the sky and witness this amazing thing. You know, I was looking up when I walked my dog the other day. I was looking up at the sky, and I saw Saturn. Actually, I think it's Jupiter. Is super bright right now. It's super bright. And I was looking at that, and I was like, oh, that's a planet, you know. And the reason it's bright is because, and this was like 4 in the morning, because I get home super late. I get home at like 2, and then I stay up for a while because I can't just go to sleep after I get home from work. So I'm walking my dog. It's almost 4 in the morning. You can see this on the horizon. The sky is slowly starting to get a little bit lighter, and the stars are starting to fade just a little bit. And there's Jupiter sitting there, and it's super bright. And then there's a couple other, you can tell Mars because it's red. And I'm like looking at these planets, and I'm like, the reason they're shining is because the sun. I get these profound thoughts, or I start thinking very profoundly sometimes. I'm like, the reason they're shining is because of the sun, the same sun that I see the light starting to appear on the horizon. So I'm looking at 3 worlds. I'm looking at the Earth from my vantage point, standing on it, and the appearance of the sun in the distance, and Mars shining because of the sun hitting it from a distance, and Jupiter shining very brightly, again because of the sun hitting it. And I'm like, we're all here. We're all together sharing this space and time. Me, the planet I'm standing on, and these other planets. We're all circling. We're all around. We're all drawn to this ball of fire, this tiny little space, and this great big expanse that's the universe. We're sharing this moment in time. I'm part of this. I'm one with this. You know, I might be a living flesh and blood being, but I'm still made up of the same stuff as these other things that are all witnessing the rising of this star. It's really cool when you think about it, about the fact that we're even here. Like, the fact that we're here like the planets are here, but we have the conscious ability to register what it is that we're a part of. Even just a small part of. And even when we die and we're beneath the ground or whatever, we're returning to what we were. We're returning to the mother that made us in the first place, our planet. When we die, whether we're cremated or we're put down in the ground in a coffin, we're returning to that which we came from. And no, we don't exist anymore, but the matter that we were is being returned to what created it. And one day when the earth explodes or is whatever, poof into dust, when the sun explodes, we're going to be thrown out into space, just like all the dust from the planet and all the dust from all the other planets and all the debris from the exploding sun. We're all going to be thrown out into the universe. Part of the dance, into space. Everybody's like, I've always wanted to go to space. Well, one day I will go to space. I won't be aware of myself being in space, but this matter, one day, will be in space. It won't look like this anymore, obviously. It'll look like dust, or maybe even not dust. Maybe we're talking about so far in the future that the matter that is me will have become other things through the course of whatever. So it's just a lot to think about. It's like, why do I bother to live? Because it's part of the dance that I want to be in. Because I think the dance is really amazing, and I feel privileged to be a part of it, to be here, to make my painting, which maybe will make the world just a little more beautiful for a little while in some very small way. It doesn't have to take fame to do something amazing with your life. And every day it's a challenge. It's like, what do you want? What are you going to do? You've got this whole day, this gift. It's a gift. Every day is a gift that life has given you. And that's the other thing about death. People fear it, and it's like, I was thinking about that too. Fear death. Twice I've experienced death, and I'm not talking about literally. I'm talking about what death would feel like. When I was a little kid, I got hit in the face with, I was ice skating, and I fell down, and somebody came behind me and tried to avoid me and hit me with his ice skates. Knocked me out for about maybe 2-3 minutes. By the time when I woke up, I had blood in my eyes, and there was a lot of people standing around me. But I don't remember those people gathering around me because I was completely out. I was knocked cold. I lost 2 or 3 minutes of my life, of my awareness. It was like I wasn't there for that little tiny bit. And when I went to have surgery and they gave me the same stuff that Michael Jackson used to take that eventually killed him, milk, no recollection, none whatsoever. It's like that part when they wheeled me into the surgery to have the surgery, and then the next thing I know I'm waking up in the recovery room, that part in the middle, completely lost to me. It's gone. It's like I wasn't there. It's like I skipped over, you know, a little tiny piece of my life. That's what death is. That's exactly what death is. You'd go into a room, you'd be talking, except it would keep going. There would never be the moment when you'd wake up again. You would just be talking. I don't find that terrifying. I really don't. Ceasing to exist doesn't bother me. What does bother me is sitting on my thumbs and thinking, I don't see any point to live because one day I'm going to cease to exist. Oh, boo-hoo. Poor me. I'm going to have a pity party now because I don't get to live forever. That bothers me. When I have all this opportunity, when I'm giving this amazing chance to do something to make a difference in somebody's life, or to just have the opportunity to see beautiful sunsets, or see shooting stars, or see a beautiful horse running across a meadow, or see kittens being born, or see a rock concert, or go to the fair, or build something amazing. So many opportunities of being able to experience things. That's what, when I get up in the morning, that's why I get up. The meaning that I need to have in my life, I don't get from a book. I get from what I put on my page every day, what I fill up on that empty page every day, or what I think is the masterpiece of my life, what colors I add to it, what definitions, what contrasts I add to it every day by what I experience. And yes, one day when I get to the end of making this amazing masterpiece, it's going to fall to dust. It's going to burn up like it never existed at all. Maybe nobody else will truly appreciate it. But I will have had that experience of creating it. And I will feel glad, and I will feel proud, and I will feel like, hey, look at that. I did that. So these are the things I think of when I hear a theist or a Christian or any whatever believer in an afterlife, people who are counting on there being some kind of afterlife, and that is why they bother going through their day. When I hear people with that attitude say to an atheist, well, why do you bother? You don't believe in anything. You know, there's no meaning to your life. Why do you even bother? Where do you get your meaning from? These are the things I think of. And these are the things I want to say back when I hear that. Anyway, I had to make this video now because later today it's going to be really, really fucking hot. And my brain will be jello. I won't be able to think at all. So if you've been watching, and I also am running out of time. I've got maybe one more month to make videos and then no more. The editor's going away. YouTube is saying they're going to have a new editor, but my thought is, how do I know I'm going to be able to use it? Because I've tried other editors. I haven't been able to use them. YouTube's primitive little whatever editor that they have right now, I'm able to use, and that's going away. So in a month, it's actually more like a month and a half, might not be making videos anymore. So I am hoping to make some before then. And so if you've been watching, thank you. Bye.
I am absolutely convinced that the main source of hatred in the world is religion. And I think it should be religion treated with ridicule and hatred and contempt.
Share the same weather, winter or summer, May or September, the 4th of whenever, it's better together. Let's get together. Home is where